O Diyos aming Ama, ang lahat ng nilalang ay marapat na sumamba sa iyo. Higit sa iyong mga biyaya, sinasamba ka namin dahil ikaw ay ikaw. Lumalapit kami sa iyo, dakilang tagapaglikha, nagsusumamo at humihingi ng kapatawaran. Kami ay nagkulang at nagkasala. Patawarin mo kami sa katigasan ng aming mga puso. Turuan mo kami at dalhin sa inyong kalooban. Tingnan mo kami ng may awa at kahabagan. Hilumin mo po ang aming bayan, ang aming mga mahal sa buhay, kaibigan, kapitbahay, karatig bayan, ganon din ang aming mga kaaway sa pandemyang kinahaharap namin sa COVID-19. Isama niyo na rin ang mga may sakit sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Panginoon, balutin mo kami ng inyong kaluwalhatian. Itago mo kami sa lilim ng inyong mga pakpak laban sa anumang kapahamakan o wala sa oras na kamatayan. Kristo, ang tinapay ng buhay, alalahanin niyo po ang mga namumuno sa aming bansa, ang mga ilaw at haligi ng bawat tahanan, at mga kawani na nagtatanggol sa aming seguridad at mga frontliners. Batid mo, Panginoon, ang mga dinaraanan at bawat ganap sa aming buhay. Espiritong Banal, aming tanggulan at gabay, imulat ang aming mga mata at ipakita si Jesus ang Panginoon at tagapagligtas, ang nag-iisang katotohanan at tanging daan tungo sa Ama. Wala nang iba. Purihin ka, O aming Diyos. Ang presensya mo ay tunay na biyaya ng aming buhay. Ito ang aming samot panalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus, Kordero ng Diyos na nag-aalis ng kasalanan ng mundo. Amen.
Walang kasing saya ang Paskong Pinoy. Dumaan man ang problema at pandemya, kayang-kayang lampasan basta't nagdadamayan at nagmamahalan.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Tuloy na tuloy pa rin ang Pasko dito sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program anchors and producers and do not necessarily reflect the policies and position of this station. Samahan na natin si Atty. Joy at DJ Gaur sa pagpapaunlad ng kalusugan sa katawan, isipan at espiritual. Ito ang Gopalakas! Gopalakas! Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Payapang isipan, Gopalakas.
kalikasan, Gopalakas.
Ayan, so isang magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat and welcome back sa ating kaisa-isa baos. Anyway, sa ating wellness show dito sa V81 Radio, ang Gopalakas, Kalusugan, Kalikasan. So mga ka-Gopalakas, ang time check natin ngayon ay 10:09 a.m. and kamusta po kayo dyan sa ating mga ka-Gopalakas listeners and viewers around the globe? Tama ba, around the globe? So sa ating mga viewers and listeners, and here we are, bagong Sabado, bagong pag-uusapan, and meron tayong special guest na makakasama maya-maya lamang. So syempre, bago tayo magsimula, nais ko magpasalamat. Ayoko nang ma-skip itong pagkakataon na to na pasalamatan ng V81 Radio, syempre ang ating mga OFWs, and syempre ang Talk Shop Asia Global, si Sir Rolly Pagaspas and Sir Rally Vargas. And syempre, huwag natin kalilimutan at maraming salamat sa ating mga kababayan and syempre sa ating mga supporters na nakikinig dito sa ating Gopalakas, sapagkat napakarami na nating topic na napag-usapan at magdi-Disyembre na naman, mga kaibigan, malapit na ang Pasko. Pero bago dumating ang Pasko, nung isang araw lang binisita tayo ng ilang bagyo, di ba? And sabi nila meron pang mga paparating. Pero anyways, kahit ganun ang sitwasyon natin, tuloy-tuloy pa rin tayo na magkakasaya dito sa programa at marami tayong matututunan na pwede natin i-apply sa ating personal at pangkalusugan na buhay. Ayan. So, ang dami ko na naman pong nasabi. Kailangan na po natin magsimula. Bago yon, kailangan ko na pong tawagan ng ating co-anchor na si Atty. Jai. Magandang umaga, Atty. Jai. Nandiyan ka na ba?
Magandang umaga, Gaur. Magandang umaga sa mga viewers and listeners, especially dito sa Facebook tsaka sa StreamYard. Si Francis Mina, good morning. Si Rosalinda Lascano from Okinawa, good morning. Ang aking fiancé, si
Congratulations pala, Atty. Jai.
Salamat. Si Ma'am Ananda Ngo from Zambales and Kalindi Relova. Maaga sila nag-tune in. Hope you're safe. Hopefully, hindi kayo naapektuhan ng bagyo, no? Pero kung naapektuhan man kayo, sakto ang ating topic today, which is, pakita natin ang program poster natin.
Pakita na yan. Ayan. Finding balance and purpose, di ba?
Yes. Finding balance and purpose.
Atty. Jai, anong masasabi mo dyan sa finding balance and purpose? Bigyan lang natin sila ng brief explanation.
Ito, pinangungunahan mo na naman ang ating episode guest, Gaur. Hindi, joke lang. Pero, finding balance and purpose, tama yan kasi ang kalamidad gives everyone perspective, no? Kasi parang magtataka ka, parang bakit naman nangyari ito, or like why us, or why is this happening to my life, ganon. Finding balance and purpose parang synthesizes both the physical wellness aspect and the mental, psychological / spiritual aspects of wellness. And perfect yung ating episode guest mamaya, no? Dahil siya ay, as you can see, Bohol Meditation Yoga Center Program Manager. Naku, pinangungunahan ko na naman si Ate Chandra.
Ikaw, Atty. Jai, ha?
Hinahawaan mo ako eh. Sige.
Pero anyway, sa ating mga viewers and listeners, no, very excited din ako. Kahapon pa, nung isang araw pa actually, nung nalaman ko na meron tayong ganitong topic na pag-uusapan. So sa ating mga viewers and listeners, makinig tayo at sunggaban natin tong opportunity na to na ibinigay sa atin ng Gopalakas. So wag na natin patagalin, Atty. Jai, no?
Sure.
Tawagin na natin ang ating news of the week co-anchor and
mag-i-introduce ng ating guest. Naputulan na naman ng kuryente si Gaur.
Ate Chandra. Magandang umaga, Ate.
Hello, Ate Chandra.
Magandang umaga, Ate Chandra.
Hello, magandang umaga sa inyong dalawa. Congratulations, Atty.
Magandang umaga rin
Jai.
din.
Kaya pala wala ka last week, ah.
Oo nga eh.
Tiket-tiket
Yun ang
Buti
dapat
nasabi mo
ibabalita ko
ngayon, Ate
ngayon,
Chandra.
attorney.
Right.
Pero saka na yun, sundan na lang nila ikaw sa Facebook page mo, no?
Wag,
Para malaman nila
wag.
yung news na yun.
Alright.
Okay,
Simple
so
plug
we'll
yan, ah.
start.
Go ahead, Ate.
We'll start with the news of the week. Let's roll the intro deck. Okay, good morning, everybody. And so for today, all right, before I introduce our guest, who Jai and Gaur have already talked about a little bit about, all right, let's talk about the situation of work-life balance in the midst of the pandemic. Kasi before yung nag-struck or before nag-start yung pandemic, actually, working from home was like a incredible perk for a lot of employees. A lot of people working often fretted about how offering this benefit would affect productivity, teamwork, and communication. And a lot of them were pushing for this. But unfortunately, working from home now is not proving to be the dream experience that many employees were anticipating, according to new research. All right, the Martech Group surveyed 1,214 individuals across various industries, demographics, and seniority levels to identify how working from home during the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting employees. While some blossomed working from home, the survey also found a significant decline in mental health across all industries, seniority levels, and demographics, because the trade-off has been or is often long hours, more virtual meetings, and blurred lines between work and personal life. So before COVID-19, 62% of employees reported positive mental health. And as the pandemic continues, only 84% now actually are reporting that their mental health had suffered due to working from home. 32% of employees reported job satisfaction, and 36% said they had good job motivation, but 42% said their stress levels increased while their focus worsened. Locally naman, according to a survey by Premier Value Provider, Filipino employees amid the pandemic showed a significant increase, all right, in the critical levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. So for stress, 15% of Filipinos experience critical level, 29% for anxiety, and 21% for critical levels of depression. A Nikkei Asian Review article reported similar stress levels among employees in Hong Kong, Thailand, and Singapore. And a study by Cigna surveyed the anxiety levels among workers in this region, okay, in the Asian or Southeast Asian region. Most of the respondents suffered from work-related stress, with Singapore at 63%, Thailand at 52%, and Hong Kong at 47%. Over 70% of the respondents described an always-on work culture. And lastly, a new lab survey of remote workers in the US showed that a staggering 87% of those living alone and working from home are now struggling with loneliness and social isolation. So although working from home does offer many benefits and advantages, people are now questioning whether it has more disadvantages than advantages. What was novel and viewed with a positive outlook just months ago has become a challenge for most. And while businesses may now be focused on the operational part of getting back on track with the easing of restrictions worldwide, we should also not forget that to bounce back, we need an organization that's healthy and sound. So to give us more insight on what is required to keep healthy and well in body, mind, and spirit, today on the show we have someone who has been a meditation teacher for over 20 years. She is also an accredited Tai Chi instructor, since 2007. She's an accredited yoga asanas instructor since 2005 and is currently the program manager for the Bohol Meditation and Yoga Center in Tagbilaran City, where she aims to present the knowledge of yoga in all of its aspects, to engage in the practice of yoga not only for the physical and mental benefits, but most especially for the enlightenment and inner satisfaction that it bestows upon a person. So I'd like to welcome on the show this morning, Miss Marsha Bayron.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you over there?
I'm pretty okay, not doing bad. Not too bad at all. I hope you guys are all right as well. Og dunay mga maminaw na taga mga Bisaya, kamusta mo diha? Maayong buntag pamantingali diha? Oh, buntag pag yun. Magandang umaga sa lahat.
Yes, magandang umaga. It's so good to have you and nice to see you on the show po. And so let's get it started because from what I reported earlier about the current situation of social isolation and increased levels of stress and anxiety and depression. This topic that we're having today, or that we're going to be tackling today, is really, I think, very important and is connected to this. And you're the best person to talk about that. Could you let us know, ma'am, how is balance actually related to one's health and overall well-being?
Okay. Balance is like, you're trying to achieve a status of, there's this term called homeostasis, where it's the state of balance for the body. So we're also trying to achieve that in our relationships, in our working life, even in our own self-care methodology. So that's what we're trying to aim for. And it is important because, without, I've got a screen. Where's that screen? Because I don't have it here. Let's see. It says, I forgot what it says. Good health is the foundation of a happy and fulfilling life, right? And when I look at health, I just don't look at it like, as you said earlier, I just don't look at it from the physical and mental side, but also the spiritual side of health, because it is the foundation, of a happy and fulfilling life, looking at every aspect of your well-being. So if a person wants to raise the standards in their health, in their work, relationships, they must pay attention to good health. Because without added energy and well-being, we're never going to be able to achieve our full potential. And so the first question, though, is, because we all have different standards of balance and well-being, we really need to look at the yoga perspective of what is balance.
Okay, so tell us, ma'am, how does yoga see balance?
Aside from making sure that you're taking care of all the three aspects of your life, your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, most people, you attend courses, you attend workshops and all that, and they want you to achieve balance. They only just look at your physical and mental well-being, but not many people look at your spiritual well-being. Yoga has a sister science called it's called Ayurveda. Ayurveda means the science of life. Yoga teaches us the goal of life. Yoga teaches us who we are. And when we know who we are, then we also know how to set the goal of our life. Knowing that I am spiritual in essence, I am covered by a physical body and a mental body. So I know I'm separate from that mental body and I'm separate from that physical body. This is just like a real fast tracking on the goal of yoga. So if anybody wants to know any more, there will be, avenues for you to learn about this. So yoga teaches us the goal of life is to actually, yoga means union. So who are we uniting with? They always say unifying mind, body, and spirit, but forgetting that there is actually a supreme spirit. So yoga teaches us the goal that we need to be in touch with our real identity, and we need to be in touch with as part of this entire creation. And we also need to you understand what our goal in life is, and that is to be united, be in union with the Supreme Spirit as an individual. Okay, as an individual, it's a relationship of love. Now, Ayurveda helps you because it looks at our body and our mind, and makes it helps us navigate towards this particular goal.
All right.
So that's
Ayurveda.
That is the yoga perspective.
Ayurveda tackles the physical aspect. Is that correct, ma'am?
The physical and mental, emotional, yes. Yes.
Okay, all three aspects: physical, mental, and emotional.
Yeah, to lead you towards a more balanced spiritual well-being.
All right. And so what does Ayurveda say in terms of balance? What do we need to do? I mean, is it very similar to the Chinese philosophy of creating balance in your energy inside the body?
Okay, yeah. Well, it goes a little bit further because, in traditional Chinese medicine, they want you to preserve that energy in your body and use it in the right way, because to help you, so that you don't deplete, because you deplete your energy, then you get sick. So it's quite similar, except in Ayurveda, it looks at your natural constitution, what you were born with. So it's a really huge topic, so I'm not going to go into depth in that one, but it looks at the principles of your constitution. It also looks at the principles of your environment. It looks at it can also fall within those principles of your doshas. Actually, it's called doshas: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha. So if you want to know more about that one, you might just have to Google that one, because it's a huge topic. And we all are born with this particular doshas, a certain percentage of Vata, which is your creative energy, Pitta, which is your fiery energy that makes it so that you can create and build, and there's your Kapha energy, which makes it so that you slow down. So not often that we only have one of those doshas. It's usually a combination of those. So Ayurveda looks at it as like balancing those doshas, the way to make it so that you become, more calm, and so that you become, more energetic, more creative, and things like that, so that you can have a balance in all aspects of your life. So anything that we, yoga and Ayurveda always looks at your whole life, not just what you're doing today, but what you did yesterday. Not only your work life, but also your relationships and who you deal with. It's because everything contributes to this balance that we're all trying to achieve. For example, like you said in your introduction, people having difficulty with working from home. I'm only going to just look at it on this side. Somebody from Cebu just said, "Maayong buntag ka ninyo." And okay, so Ayurveda and both yoga tell you that you need to have boundaries. Okay, you don't just merge your time. For example, I work from home, so I need to know what my boundaries are, so that, and Ayurveda always has routine. Routine is very big in Ayurveda. So that means when you first wake up in the morning, you follow certain routines so that you can have a balanced day. And then at the end of the day, you also have a routine. And throughout the day, you have a routine to make it so that you can rest. There are 3 pillars of health in Ayurveda. Number one is nutrition, diet, what you put into your body. The next one is sleep, very important, because without proper sleep, then you can't have a balanced life. And the third one is the proper use of energy. So not going all out in something, and like moderation, temperance. It's always very important. Okay, so what do I do to make it so that my work life and my home life and my personal life don't just merge and become nothing, and then I'm just so tired. So first thing in the morning, well, actually it starts in the evening. I have, and this is what I teach my students as well, is you have to have good sleep hygiene. 30 minutes or 1 hour before you go to bed, no more gadgets, no TV, no phone, no nothing. You can spend the time in a practice of meditation, go to sleep, so that you calm down, not just your mind, not just your body, but you, the person inside that body, you can actually calm down. And you sleep, this is probably quite controversial, but before 10 o'clock at night. I know the Chinese medical doctors will also tell you that, because your body starts detoxing at 10 o'clock.
And there's certain organs that per hour assigned to each hour. Yeah.
Every 2 hours. Yep. There's a certain, yeah. So your body starts detoxing at 10 o'clock. So if you're still awake, it can't do its job. And then you also work within your circadian rhythm. So that means waking up early. Again, another controversial topic. Waking up early, because so many influences why it's good to wake up early. And when one wakes up, the first thing you should do is actually to go on an inward journey. It's the best thing, review your relationship with the Supreme Person, because it will color, or it will affect all the other relationships that you have in your life. So it starts, Jesus Christ said, love God with your whole heart, your whole mind, your entire being. That was his first commandment. But second commandment is like unto it, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You cannot love your neighbor unless you can love God first, because you won't understand what love is. So go on an inward journey. Maybe this will be a good time to practice your meditation on beads, or listen to some meditation music. And then get out of bed, wash your face, scrape your tongue, brush your teeth, shower maybe, and then you do some movement, move your body, any type of movement, dancing, tai chi, yoga, something. We all need movement. And if you can fit into this time as well, going out in nature. It's very important also for our well-being, for balance, is spending time in nature. Is it any wonder why people have a lot of plants these days? You look through your Facebook feed, right?
Yes.
Everybody's got a plant.
Everybody is now planting.
Yes.
Trying to.
It's because it's a natural thing for the body and the mind to have time with nature. So those are this kind of routines, and we haven't even had breakfast yet. You know. And like I said, food is very important. So routine of eating, depending on your constitution, having a particular time to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can work that out for yourself. Some people don't even need to eat 3 times a day, so that you can work out for yourself. But if you're eating, that's all you're doing, is you're eating. You're not checking your emails. You're not checking your news feed. When we were little, this shows you how old I am. We used to sit at the table and eat, and nothing else happened. TV was off, and we actually engaged in conversation with my siblings and my parents. And no one was allowed to fight at the dining room table, because it's not a good environment. fighting, raised voices, and things like that. It's not a good environment to be in while you're trying to eat. I mean, who likes to be in the middle of an argument anyway, at any time of the day, but especially when you're eating, because it affects your digestion. So, yeah. So, and then you start your work at a certain time. Okay, say from 9 o'clock or however time your boss expects you to be at work. Then I'm at work at 8 o'clock. Before that, it's my time. It's my time to nurture my body, my mind, and and myself, being the spirit soul. Because if you don't do that, then how effective are you going to be? You're just setting yourself up for burnout, for stress, which is, like you said earlier, is what a lot of people are
doing or experiencing.
Yeah, are experiencing right now. So, diseases in Ayurveda, diseases takes a long time to show up. It sort of just bubbles under the surface. Yeah, you don't get cancer overnight. You don't get heart problems overnight, unless, of course, you're born with it. They're congenital. These things take a long time. And the habits that you have now is going to affect your health in 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe 10, 15 years or something like that. It might take that long. By the time the symptom, the initial symptom shows up, that's already the fourth part of a 6-part series of the disease process. Yeah.
So there's nothing much you can do at that part already. It's already part 4.
There's still something you can do. You can change your lifestyle, but if you want to prevent Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, they're very big on prevention, because it's easier to do these things than having to fix a chronic situation or an acute situation and things like that. So it's all bubbling under the surface, depending on the lifestyle that you choose, the food that you eat, the amount of sleep, the kind of work that you do, the amount of stress you allow your body to live with, all these things. Everything that we do has a consequence. It's just the way of nature. Am I going to eat this sugary donut now or not? You might think it will just give me a headache tonight, but it builds up. Toxins build up in our body and can manifest 20, 30 years later as some form of disease. The six stages of the disease, like I said, the initial symptoms is already the 4th stage of the disease. And then the 5th stage is when even more symptoms show up that's more particular to the kind of ailment that you're having. So the 6th is either you recover or you die, or it becomes a chronic disease and there's some form of disability. So you're better to do something now than much later. Try to achieve your routine now to make it so that your life is balanced.
So the imbalances are caused mainly by actually ourselves, starting with ourselves. But however, some people find it challenging to find that routine, or to set the boundaries, or the what do you call this? The definition for the divisions.
Yes. It is because this is human nature. Human nature, we think when we need to go do a change, we need to do like all of it, like all 10 things, not realizing that all we need to do is take one step at a time. Okay, you get that, you get that step done, like drinking probably 8 glasses of water a day. Okay, so yeah, I got that done. And now maybe going to sleep at the same time every night, waking up the same time every morning. We don't have to do everything at the same, because that's the thing with the mind. If you cannot separate yourself from your mind, you think you're the mind, and the mind says, "Oh, too hard. Let's not do it." And you just go, "Yeah, too hard. Let's not do it." There's actually exercises. I don't know if exercise is the right word, but there's things that you can do to actually make it so that you can control that mind, and you make it so that the mind becomes your tool instead of you being the tool of the mind. Now, this exercise, this in the corporate world, I'm sure they give you seminars and workshops on all those kind of things, because usually
Yes.
any change that we want to make with our lifestyle, any change, even if it's for our health, even if it's any spiritual changes that we want to make, it's usually the mind that you have to battle with first, right? You've been in the corporate world, you've attended those kinds of seminars.
Yes.
It's usually the mind talk, and that's what makes it so that people think it's just very difficult. But if you do like one thing at a time, then it becomes more achievable. But also you also need a bit of determination, that is required. But if you honor the purpose of the body that we have, that it's a vehicle that we can actually use for the betterment of ourselves, for helping other people, to be of service to other people, then it makes it a lot easier to actually, you don't have this attitude of bahala na si Batman sa buhay ko. You sort of understand that there's a higher goal, there's a higher purpose for this body that we have. Then we become a lot more careful. We become more open to changes that we need to do to achieve the goals that we want, to actually live a balanced life. Yeah.
And so this is the whole yoga aspect or perspective of a balance.
Oh yes, absolutely. My life is meant. My purpose for life is not just to enjoy my senses, but it's actually to be of service to the Supreme Person and to be of service to His children. So that's another thing with nowadays. That's why it makes it very difficult for people to actually make changes, is because we're encouraged to satisfy our senses to the max, And what does that do? I mean, for people who are familiar with the yoga process, they know that when you just let your senses go, it all stays in your mind, and so your mind becomes very, very disturbed. You pick up any Ayurveda book, it will tell you cannot let your senses go wild. Moderation and being able to control the senses is required if you want a balanced life, if you want a happy life, if you want if you don't want disturbed mind.
And how does one come to that? Because it's very hard also to what do you say no, or not be tempted. That's the word I was trying to look for.
Yeah, well, again, it goes down to what do you want to achieve in your life? How badly do you want to achieve in your life? The reason people can find it very difficult to say no to sensual stimulation, I don't know if that's the right word, is because they attach their happiness with sensual stimulation, not seeing the difference between pleasure and actual happiness. Again, a huge topic. But they think that, I'm missing out if I don't attend this party. Really? I mean, really, if you have a little bit of knowledge of the yoga process, you can easily say, no, it's not going to make, missing out on that party is not going to make me a depressed person or anything like that, because it depends on where you think your happiness lies. And really differentiate pleasure from happiness. They're two different things. Pleasure is it's momentary, a little bit of tingling of the tongue, a little bit of tingling of the eyes, but it's not going to last. And how do you know it's not going to last? Because you're going to look for the next hit for your tongue, for your eyes, for your ears. You know.
And so we got yoga zooms in on the aspect of happiness that is lasting, not just pleasure, but rather
That's
lasting
right.
happiness.
Yes.
So, ma'am, in a summary, how would you just put all the points that we just talked about in a quick 5-minute summary, because we actually have a few minutes left.
All right. I would advise people to actually follow a yoga lifestyle. That's basically because when you follow a yoga lifestyle, you will understand who you are and where your happiness lies. And then everything else that goes with it, the exercise, the food, the sleep, the proper use of energy, being of service to other people, or karma yoga, living outside of just your own self. That's all going to be you're going to be able to learn that and assimilate that and actually realize that with a yoga lifestyle. So you don't need to start from exercises and breathing and things like that. You can all go straight to the top of what's of
Purpose
of yoga. Yeah, the purposeful yoga. If exercise doesn't jive with you, then start off from straight to the meditation part of yoga. There's no requirement. It doesn't mean that you have to be good with the exercises and the breathing before you can practice meditation. It helps, but you can go straight to the meditative aspect of the yoga process.
All right. Is there anyone that you would want to shout out to, ma'am, as we end or as we are nearing the end of this segment?
Kanang mga taga Cebu, I see somebody from Cebu, I see somebody from Bohol. Salamat sa pagpaminaw, and I would just like to and really encourage people to take a pause from your busyness, because sometimes we use being busy as an excuse for not looking inwards. I'm too busy. No, nobody is ever too busy. One tip: always write your to-do list for the next day the night before. That's one tip I can tell you. So that when you go to sleep, you can sleep. You don't have to worry about you're not going through your sleep and then waking up in the morning and go, oh no, I've got to go check my messages. No, you can spend. Don't give your entire life to the company, because you're not achieve the goal in life.
Yes. And so, ma'am, if they also want to know more about we've tackled so many things actually and just really touched on the surface of a lot of them. But if they want to know more, they can contact you at Bohol Meditation.
Yes, please. We have a Facebook page, Bohol Meditation and Yoga Center. And because it's such a huge topic, finding balance, both physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual balance, I actually hold monthly classes and just cover a little aspect of this whole balance thing. It's called Serenity Monday. So if you follow us on Bohol Meditation and Yoga Center Facebook page, then you'll be able to be notified of when our classes are. And also, of course, you can always message me, send me a message in our inbox.
All right. Okay.
So thank you so much,
ma'am Marsha, for being on the show and giving us an overview of what balance is from the perspective of yoga, and also a bit of Ayurveda in there. So thank you so much, and we'll be sure to follow your page for more of what you've been talking about. All right. So now I'll bring this back to Gaur and Attorney Jai.
Yes. Sobrang napakarami nating natutunan ngayong Sabado kasama si Ma'am Marsha Bayron.
Mhm.
And I would like to take the opportunity to thank Ma'am Marsha for being here in our show. Yeah.
Pero tama yung sabi ni Ma'am Marsha, no? It's
Thank
such
you.
a wide
Thank you, Gaur.
topic. It's such a
Yes.
wide topic, from Ayurveda to holistic wellness, na we can do a whole series on it. Ma'am Marsha, yun na yung hint namin. Hint, hint. We'll invite you in the future.
Actually,
We'll
may
absolutely
pahabol.
do that.
may pahabol, Attorney Jai and DJ Gaur and
Go
Marsha,
ahead.
that somebody asked, one of the audience asked, how much time should I allot for myself in the morning and at night?
Well,
Ayan,
it depends,
Ma'am
on
Marsha.
it depends on how much time you have. You can work it out for yourself. 10 to 15 minutes will do wonders. 10 to 15 minutes, you can start with that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
And if you can find more time, then add on to it.
The more time, the merrier, no? Parang ganun yan, no, Ma'am Marsha?
Depends. Depends naman sa responsibilities mo. Kung meron ka mga anak, ikaw kasi wala ka pang anak. when you've got children, they take up a lot of your time in the morning,
Right. Speaking of, Joanna Isobel says, hi, Madava.
Oh, yeah, that's
AKA.
Joanna.
All right. Ma'am Marsha, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your wisdom. Hopefully we can invite you in the future.
Yes.
Ayan, yung mga ating mga viewers and listeners. Rodrani Flores says, tuned in siya. Over on Facebook, Kath Nanta, Ma'am Janet Paredes, Ruben Lontok, all the way from Union, California, says hello. Angel Gonzalo says good day. Emily Guevara, Matt Resurrection, yeah. Thank you. Yan na siya. Complied na ako.
Ayan.
Ma'am Marsha, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so
maraming salamat po ulit, ha. So, sana next time ma-invite natin. And I believe na magkakaroon tayo ng series
Oh.
sa sobrang lawak nitong topic na to. So,
Okay.
So maraming salamat po sa ating mga viewers and listeners. Unfortunately, kailangan natin magkaroon ng short break. Pero wag po kayong aalis dahil magkakaroon pa tayo ng mas maraming diskusyon kasama ng ating mga segment host na sila Tito Toby. Nako po, marami tayong matututunan dyan. So maraming salamat po muli sa inyong lahat, especially kay Ma'am Marsha. At magkita-kita po tayo in a short break. Maraming salamat.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas. Haribo ni Tagore, Haribo. Haribo ni Tagore, Haribo.
Ayan, so magandang umaga ulit and we're back, no, mga ka-Gopalakas. Welcome back, Atty. Jai. Time check lang tayo, 10:50 a.m. na po. Ayan, hatid sa inyo ng...
Please put in your sponsorship here.
Yeah.
Yan na yung gap niya. Yan na yung sample for our sponsors. Brought to you by... marami tayong viewers. So sponsor the show. Come on, please. Just go ahead.
So, Atty. Jai, baka may gusto kang batiin bago tayo magtumalon sa ating segment, no?
Wala, binati ko na lahat yung mga nakikinig sa Facebook.
So, sa ating mga tagapakinig, no, meron tayong hotline dyan. Si Ma'am Ananda Kalindirilova and syempre sa ating viewers and listeners. So anyway, kung meron man tayong katanungan at comments, no, gaya ng ating mga ginagawa nung nakaraang episode, no, meron tayong Gopalakas hotline. So makikita lang natin yan dyan. Dito. Ayan. So lagi lang natin siya makikita dyan. So,
pag meron kayong hindi, nandyan kapag...
Nawala yata ako, Atty. Jai.
Hindi,
so anyway,
sa ulo mo lang, nawawala ka sa sarili.
Hindi, naghangga kasi kanina, akala ko nawala ka. So anyway, kung meron man kayong question, no, ayan lang ating hotline or mag-comment down lang po tayo. So wag na natin patagalin, no, Atty. Jai, dahil sayang ang bawat segundo, bawat minuto ng oras na meron tayong matututunan more on balance and purpose, no, with our segment host Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, and Tita Socorro. So let's welcome the Living Wise.
Meron yatang technical difficulties ang ating segment 2 for Living Wise, pero ang ating main
oo nga.
anchor ay andito. Kala ko nagka-technical difficulties ka rin eh.
Malapit na,
Anyway,
malapit na. Pero
huwag ka
anyways,
ganyan,
dahil
Nakanood.
joke lang. Pero
Mm.
anyways, dahil hindi pwede yan na mahinto tayo. So
Mhm.
I think kailangan natin mag-proceed, no? Sa ating mga
Sure.
viewers and listeners. Ayan, nandyan na sila. Ayan, antayin lang natin. Andyan na ba sila? Antay tayo
Hello.
mga ilang segundo.
Pero okay yung ano, no? Hindi, gamitin natin yung oras na to para
Oo.
mag
Sige.
chit-chat.
Alright,
Balance
sige.
and purpose. Yung kay Ma'am Marsha, no?
Mhm.
Feeling ko, dahil sa time allocation niya, na foundation pa lang ang touch natin, no? Foundation pa
Yes,
lang.
yes.
Ang daming, tulad ng sabi ni Ma'am Marsha, ang daming pwedeng pag-usapan, no? Pwedeng pag-usapan regarding wellness, regarding yoga, regarding finding balance and purpose.
Mhm.
Pero hopefully, itong episode na to can give that to our viewers and listeners na may foundation na sila kung saan magsisimula ang kanilang focus sa paghanap ng balance and purpose sa kanilang buhay. Dahil ang show natin ay continuing wellness ang theme, 'di ba? Continuing
Yes,
wellness,
yes.
progressive wellness. So,
Mm.
mag-set tayo ng foundation and then from there, mag-build tayo. Bigyan natin ng new techniques, new bagong kaalaman sa ating mga viewers and listeners na they can build on that, on their wellness practice, 'di ba? Ang dami ko na naman nasabi. Gaur,
Okay. Pero anyway, nag-message sa akin ng tech ng La Union, no? Merong ipapamahagi si Ma'am Socorro since mahina ang kanilang internet. Tech, I think we should show them, no? Then we can discuss after that. Okay?
Sure.
Maganda yan.
Ay prompt mo kaya kung alin yung
Yung sa fearfulness, yan. Kailangan din natin yan sa balance eh. Madalas tayo natatakot. Okay, play natin yan.
Alright.
Alright.
Good day. Welcome to our discussion on fearlessness. When some people talk about fearlessness, they describe soldiers in a battlefield fiercely facing powerful enemies. Or they may talk about extreme sports and taking risks with death-defying challenges. Today, we focus on yoga masters who display a different kind of courage. They are fearless spiritual warriors who have no fear of death, injury, humiliation, or poverty. One great spiritual warrior, known as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, once stated, "Many obstacles are a good sign." And in his own life, he indeed encountered numerous challenges that would have created fear in the hearts of the unenlightened. Srila Bhaktivinoda successfully overcame the difficulties and proved that the true yoga master is fearless and courageous. He appeared in Dimagar, India in the year 1838. He was a profound spiritualist and put in much effort into writing transcendental literature. At the same time, he was a very strict court magistrate, and persons including the British rulers were in awe of his exemplary performance. His quality of fearlessness was exhibited in his expert handling of the case against the powerful mystic Vishakeshena. This mystic could show fire coming from his head or sit in front of a fire rocking back and forth. He declared that he was God himself and that people should bow at his feet. He arrogantly declared, "I will drive away the British administration and sit on the throne as the king of Orissa myself." In line with his statement, he sent out a strong message to residents in various places. Several leaders submitted themselves at his feet, gave him money, and sent him women to enjoy. The British government became worried that he was a political activist inciting rebellion amongst the people. In response, the government of Bengal sent out a warrant of arrest for Vishakeshena. But there was one serious issue. Who would stand up to prosecute this powerful mystic? A district commissioner from England, Mr. Ravenshaw, requested Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur to handle the case, and the brave magistrate accepted. He knew that the mystic possessed only materialistic powers that could not touch or subdue spiritual power. Now the problem began unfolding when no man could be found who would serve the warrant of arrest and bring in the mystic. People were so afraid to approach the mystic, let alone arrest him and take him to jail. Thus, Srila Bhaktivinoda undertook the task himself and went to see the mystic. The mystic proudly showed his powers to Srila Bhaktivinoda and said, "You have come to inquire about my activities, but I warn you not to disturb my activities, for I am God Himself." Bhaktivinoda replied, "Sir, you are a great yogi. Why are you living here? You should come with me to Jagannath Puri, where you can have an audience with the deity of Lord Jagannath in the temple." Vishakeshena answered with anger, "Why should I come to see a hunk of painted wood, whereas I am God?" Srila Bhaktivinoda was greatly upset at the offensive remark and at once arrested the proud mystic, who was easily subdued by the saintly court magistrate. For security reasons, Srila Bhaktivinoda recruited 36 Muslim guards and 72 policemen from another area to guard the cell 24/7. The court trial lasted 18 days, and hordes of people appeared in the courtyard daily, demanding that the mystic be released. On the 6th day of the trial, the daughter of Srila Bhaktivinoda became very sick, and the intelligent magistrate surmised this mystic was using his powers to intimidate him and his whole family. Without fear, he declared, "Yes, let us all die, but this rascal must be punished." The next day, the daughter recovered from her sickness. Meanwhile, in the courtroom, Vishakeshena boldly announced that he had displayed his power and will show much more. He said that Srila Bhaktivinoda should take heed, be afraid of his power, and immediately release him from jail. At the end of the trial, it was the judge himself who became very sick with high fever, just as his daughter had experienced. Physically debilitated, Srila Bhaktivinoda had to be carried to the courthouse, where he rendered his fearless judgment that Vishakeshena be sentenced to 18 months in prison for political conspiracy. While being escorted out of the courtroom, Vishakeshena was surprised by the district medical officer, who jumped from behind to cut off the long hair of the mystic with a large pair of scissors. The mystic depended on his long hair for power, and like a shriveled animal, he instantly dropped to the ground and had to be carried out on a stretcher. After a few months at a central jail, he committed suicide by taking poison. Srila Bhaktivinoda physically recovered from his sickness and continued his work with courage and dedication. He taught both by words and actions the true meaning of fearlessness and dependence on the mercy and power of the Almighty. This true story shows how a dedicated servant of the Supreme Being is not only fearless, but is also truly protected by the transcendental powers of the Supreme. The mystic depended on his own abilities and power. Srila Bhaktivinoda depended on the master of all mystic powers. That is true intelligence and bravery based on wisdom. Thank you very much.
Ganda ng story na yun, and it's such an inspiring story na purpose-driven siya, no, and being dependent.
Right.
Pwede kang magbigay ng ano dyan, attorney
Oo.
dyan. Ayan. Abogado ka rin, di ba? ng
Nang,
story.
yes, pero iba namang level yon, iba namang
konting,
level yon.
additional info para sa ating mga viewers and listeners. Ayan.
Right. Si Bhakti Vinod, 'di ba? Bhakti Vinod yung Gaur. Nawala na naman si Gaur. Gaur, si
Yeah.
Bhakti Vinod yun, 'di ba? Yung
Yes,
pinag-uusapan sa video. Right. Si Bhakti Vinod, na pagkakaalam ko, magistrate yan, or chief magistrate, or judge.
Yes.
Our equivalent of a judge. Pero he's also one of the most recognizable figures in terms of spirituality and Vaishnavism sa India, no? So napag-mix niya yung dalawa. Usually when you have very intellectual individuals, they often lean towards atheism or agnosticism, or being an agnostic. So si Bhakti Vinod was able to both maintain his position, no, as in the government as a judge, and also preach spirituality to people who would listen. So napaka-inspiring ng story na binahagi ni Tita Socorro, no. Are we welcoming the rest of the Living Wise program, or are we going to proceed with
dahil
good food?
nahirapan sila sa kanilang internet connection, I think we need to proceed sa good food.
Okay,
So,
sure.
okay. So, play na natin ang good food.
Hi everyone, this is Chris.
And I'm Nimai.
And welcome to the Good Food. So today we're switching things up a little bit. Since it's World Vegan Month, we have a special feature for you. Every year on November, the organizers of Vegans of Manila celebrate the biggest vegan festival in the Philippines. Now this project is known as the Veg Fest. Here with us today are two of the three co-founders of Veg Fest. The first one, she's the head organizer of Veg Fest Filipinas, and also the founder of Vegans of Manila, the organization behind Veg Fest Filipinas. She has been sharing a compassionate vegan lifestyle throughout her businesses, her causes, and her brands. So let us all welcome Jack Aberga.
Hi. Welcome to the Good Food.
Hi, Jack.
Hello. Hi, Chris. Hi, Nimai.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for
To the
coming,
Good
for joining
Food.
us. Thank you.
Of course, no problem.
Okay, so let's bring in our next guest. Her background in communication has allowed her to work in a variety of fields: recruitment, marketing, and events, and education. But the role closest to her heart will always be her work in the Veg Fest Filipinas team. As the program head, let's welcome Ada. Welcome to the Good Food.
Thank you so much for having us.
So for those of our viewers and listeners on the Good Food, ano ba yung Veg Fest? Kasi this might be the first time that they're going to hear about it. So can you tell us, what is the Veg Fest?
Okay, no problem. Veg Fest Filipinas is a festival of all things vegan in the Philippines. We really started the event as a way to share our vegan lifestyle with, well, at first it was with Manileños, and then eventually, we got a lot of guests from outside Manila and even outside the Philippines. Tapos in Veg Fest, we really showcase different vegan businesses kasi we want to show the non-vegans, these are the vegan businesses that you can contact whenever you need help with just living a vegan lifestyle. And then more than that, we also have mga talks, mga cooking demos, fitness demos to show to show people na hindi lang siya about food. Hindi lang about food talaga yung vegan lifestyle. It's really a lifestyle, you know, kasi a lot of people think it's a diet, but it's not. It's really a lifestyle. So we want to show them all the aspects talaga ng veganism through the festival, through Veg Fest.
So who started it? I mean, where did the idea come from? Why Veg Fest in the Philippines?
Jack will tell you the story.
Yeah, who came up with this brilliant
May story
idea?
siya. May history pala.
Oo, this actually, alam nyo, sa totoo lang, no, this took, like 2 years? So, Veg Fest Philippines kasi was founded really by Vegans of Manila, which is my online resource. In Vegans of Manila, I was showcasing a lot of, you know, restaurants where people can order vegan dishes. I was featuring also mga vegan businesses, ganyan. Tapos, naisip ko lang, what if we had this one event or one place where we can feature all of them as much as possible.
Yeah.
At that time, we have another partner kasi, no? We have another co-founder, si Keith. That time, I was chatting with him, ganyan. Tapos, bigla na lang naming naisip, parang biglang pumasok sa isip namin pareho na sana may Veg Fest dito. I can't remember what happened exactly, but nagkaroon ng point na sabi ko, nako, bahala na, let's do it. Bahala na kung paano natin gagawin. Duli ka na, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I initially contacted a couple of other friends to help me with organizing Veg Fest Pilipinas. Kasama pa rin si TJ doon. Pero hindi nag-pan out yung group. So sabi namin, ay baka lang talaga, baka hindi na mangyayari talaga. 6 months later, si TJ messaged me again. Sabi niya, halika na, gawin na natin. Okay, sabi ko, shocks. Parang, alam mo, kinabahan ako. Parang shocks, paano ba to? Kaya sabi ko, wait, I can't do this without Ada. So talaga, kaya, dinala namin si Ada sa team. A year and a half since the first conversation, nag-meet kaming 3. Tapos, parang ang dating kasi actually nung first meeting namin, hindi namin sure kung magkakaroon ng second year. So sabi namin, okay, let's do it. One time, big time na.
All out that first meeting in Eastwood.
Kaya pag nung nakita niyo, Chris, you were there, diba?
Yeah.
Na talagang grabe, festival talaga. Fiesta talaga.
So funny. And I was gonna ask you, how was the first year, the first Veg Fest? How did it turn out? How was the turnout? Like, how many merchants did you have? And I heard the first one was like, wow, ang daming tao talaga.
Yeah, grabe.
It was
You're
overwhelming.
Surprised kayo. Ang dami pala ng interested.
Even the merchants, ganyan, the merchants were asking us, how much are we gonna prepare? Paano namin gagawin ganyan. First time, di ba? So sabi namin, sige, prepare na kayo ng usual nyo. Tapos, ang nangyari, half day pa lang ng first day, Ada, no? Sold out.
They had to close. Tapos someone had to take over the booth for now just so it doesn't look empty. Yeah. Pero it was
2 days also, Ada?
It was 2 days.
Oh my
2 days.
Tapos ng time na yon, 2 weekends pa kami kasi we had 1 weekend in Eastwood and another weekend in Lucky Chinatown in Binondo.
Oh, wow.
Kaya talagang, oh my gosh. Pero what did we get ourselves into?
But it's a pleasant surprise, diba?
Yes.
Every year.
Yeah.
Never fails to surprise us every year. The whole
Every
experience.
year, it keeps getting better and better every year.
Oh, that's
yeah.
So Ada, Veg Fest is already in its 5th year. Am I correct? And how has it evolved from that first year to like until like now, like in its 5th year? Yeah.
But I guess definitely one way to describe it is it just keeps getting bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
I think when we started, we had 60 merchants.
Oh,
wow.
And we have
Eastwood,
50 to 60.
Yeah, 50, 60. Okay. So
for someone like who hasn't been to a veg fest, what's it like? Like, what's the program?
Yeah,
I
what do
believe
you,
it's not just like food booths.
yes.
There's cooking demos. There's
What are these merchants?
exercise.
What are these merchants? Are they all food? Do they have other products? Mga ganon.
We had a mix. We had
Mm.
food and non-food, no? Of
Mm.
course, majority was food talaga kasi people are hungry. But we also had mga beauty products. We had mga yung designers, yung t-shirts, tote bags with vegan statement shirts. What else? We had
Makeup.
we had oh my god, yung makeup,
Makeup.
grabe,
That's the
sold
best.
out every
Oh,
year.
wow.
Yeah.
These are locally made, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
locally
are.
made,
Galing.
organic.
Yeah,
Amazing.
organic pa yata, no?
I think it's well-rounded. Your program is very well-rounded.
The target kasi talaga has always been the non-vegans.
Yeah.
Kasi sila yung gusto namin na malaman talaga kasi a lot of them, a lot of them, 'di ba, hindi nila alam. Talagang hindi nila alam ano bang meron, ano ba 'to. Tapos a lot of them nga, they know ang alam lang nila diet siya, ganyan na when we explain, no, it's a lifestyle, ganito siya, ganito. Nagugulat talaga sila. Tapos and then we do expose the attendees to really the cruelties behind our reasons for going vegan. And we have been able to successfully help with the transition of a lot of non-vegans to veganism. So we're really, really proud of that, and we're really happy about that.
So the Veg Fest has food merchants, food and non-food, and you have programs. And I heard you didn't stop at that. Meron pa kayang beneficiaries. Can you tell us about your beneficiaries? My God.
Yeah.
What is this about?
So actually, this is like a really this is a big fundraiser for our beneficiaries.
Okay.
Since the start, talagang Safe Care has always been our beneficiary. Kasi when we started Veg Fest, I wanted it to be really to have a focus on the environment also.
Yes.
And Safe Care is really big on environmental rights. Tapos, bonus pa, they also promote plant-based. So parang ako, oh my God, buti na lang.
Ideal.
Kaya talagang we always support Safe Care, their programs through Veg Fest. I remember nung first year, we supported yung korma. Tapos, some of the organizing committee and the volunteers of Veg Fest, they even went to La Union, hoping sana na makita nila yung pag-hatch ng kaso hindi umabot. Pero they had a great time pa rin. Tapos, we also, this year naman, we also have ARF Manila, which is a volunteer-run animal rescue group. So, yun yung gusto talaga namin, no? We want to give back talaga to the society. And it's really, a way also for other people. Kasi, we believe that other people, they really want to help also. But they just they're not sure how to, or they're not sure where to go and all that. So we're just showing them, or in a way doing it for them, na ito, you can, with your purchase, with your attendance, you can help out our beneficiaries already.
So you're doing something for the environment, you're doing something for the animals, and then you have beneficiaries, and you're all volunteers. So it's safe to say that this is labor of love.
It
is.
Wow, labor of love. Wow.
Passion, everything.
Yes.
I salute you guys for doing this. Grabe the work.
Thank you so much.
Putting into this.
And
a
they're
lot
shocked.
of people are really looking forward to this every year.
Yes.
They're shocked when they find out na how many we are in the team. So it's like, what? It's just, this is everyone already? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the volunteers who we coordinate with offline. Pero like, of course, the months of planning, okay, that
it's
is
really the team.
the core
the work,
team.
Yeah. That's actually one of the good things about going virtual this year. We have an opportunity to go international talaga, to go global talaga.
Yeah.
Tapos, we're so lucky right now. Ada, share mo ko ano yung sobrang
Oh,
saya-saya
yeah.
tayo.
Every time someone from the team would post na, okay, this international speaker respond, it's like, everyone like. So this year, we got 3 keynote speakers, 3 international speakers, okay, and the other one is the director of the documentary that we will be showing.
Oh, wow.
So she will be available after that. So this is so amazing. So, okay, let's say the names na.
Yeah, pwede na yan.
Okay, so the first one, okay, is gonna be the founder of Mercy for Animals, Milo Runkle, okay, and then the other one is Captain Paul Watson from Sea Shepherd. Okay, so it's gonna be, this is something probably close to your heart also. This is gonna be talking about the state of the seas.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then the third one is
yung third one kasi medyo pending pa tayo dyan.
Okay.
Kaya parang, teka muna, wag muna yata.
Sige.
Abangan na lang namin yung post na.
But that one was really so exciting also. But this one,
siya, biglang parang, what? She said yes? Okay.
Okay, we're gonna make arrangements. Okay, that's the clue. Okay. For the director of the movie, okay, we're gonna show Endgame 2050. Okay, so it's a documentary. Okay, there is a short movie within the documentary showing a scenario of how 2050 would actually look like.
Oh no!
Well, if we continue living this way, it's actually a bit. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to watch it.
Iyak ako sa kanya, grabe.
So we're gonna have Dr. Sofia Pineda Ochoa. She's the director of the movie. Okay, featuring Moby. Okay, Moby will also be there in the movie. So
with the Veg Fest going virtual, other than the talks, what are the other things that we can expect for this first time virtual Veg Fest? What can we look forward to?
Since we can't have, there's no
Gathering.
place that they can go to. How is it going to work? How do people purchase things? How do they watch it? Is it all in the VegFest website or something?
It's going to be hosted on another platform. It is may registration pledge ulit. Just like the past 2 years, we do have a registration pledge which goes all to our beneficiaries. Lahat nung nire-raise namin talaga na money ngayon, it's all going to the beneficiaries talaga. Tapos we're releasing the registration link this week. Para people can watch out for it. The poster and the registration links will come out this week.
So, program, okay, the lineup is there will be 3 sessions, which is like a panel discussion. So we have 14 local speakers, like 5, and then 4. Okay, so the topics, okay, we will release the official title, but mainly the topics are, for the first one, we're going to focus on animal rescue and the vegan activism. So the second one, okay, we have health and environment, okay, and people during those 3 forums, they can also ask questions. And the last one is going to be the vegan challenge. We have someone who's taking the challenge now. And he will be talking about his experience at the end, plus also mentors. So we also got mentors, so they can, talk about their experience and all. Yeah, aside from the keynote speakers, movie screening, the forum, the demo, Jack.
Yes.
The cooking demo.
Yes.
The moment I told her, Astig Vegan, RG always said yes.
Yes.
sobrang daling kausap ni RG when it comes to these things. So we did a poll and the people wanted rellenong alimasag, vegan rellenong alimasag, and she's gonna present that with veg on the edge. Okay.
Yes.
So
Wow, I can't wait. I
I
can't
know.
wait. I'm looking forward to getting that link to register.
Register ako
Mamaya na
nga. Mag-register kami.
yes.
When it comes out.
Early birds kami.
Yay.
There's such a thing
Mahaba na yung
Confirmed
pila. I'm sure there's more.
now.
Chris, Nimay, I just wanted, if it's okay, I just wanted to mention also about the 21-day vegan challenge that Adam
Yes,
mentioned.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's going to start during Veg Fest itself on November 28th, and then it's going to run for 20 days until December 18. So we're inviting the non-vegans who want to really learn more about being vegan, about the vegan lifestyle, and even the ones who are still transitioning, like maybe mga new vegans pa lang, like 2 months or less. So we have this challenge for them. We have this program for them to really help them with their transition. We'll be talking about the different aspects of veganism. So we have about health over there, about the environment. We have especially about animal activism over there. So our whole intention for the vegan challenge is to really, kasi it's connected with our theme this year, which is to live a better normal by going vegan. So yun yung purpose and intention din ng vegan challenge, to really help the challengers to learn how to be more proactive about sharing the vegan lifestyle.
There will be a Facebook group also, and we will be there. Actually, Jack and I,
Yes,
and
we
other
will guide them
mentors.
all along, all the way.
Wow, that's definitely exciting. I mean, we would share that once you post about it. We will definitely share it on our page.
Yes, thank you.
So before we wrap things up, any message any final words or message that you want to give to our viewers about this upcoming Veg Fest? Do you want to invite them?
I'd like to invite everyone, whether you're in the Philippines or outside, this is the chance to be really fully immersed in the experience, because we're bringing it online, virtual, for the first time. Okay, so there's much to expect, program-wise, there's much to expect. Wait for the speakers. You'll be blown away if you see the lineup this year.
Anything else, Jack?
Yeah, I wanted to mention also, we still have a merchant expo. It's actually happening this Saturday already, November 14. So it's not happening just on November 28th, but it's leading up to Veg Fest, November 14 to 28. So we're going to be posting all the information this week, all the merchants that are part of the Virtual Veg Fest Pilipinas. And I am so happy that a lot of people are still so supportive, no matter what platform we use. A lot of people have been messaging us na thank you for still creating, na tinuloy pa rin namin yung Veg Fest, ganyan. A lot of people are, syempre, they're missing in person yung live talaga. Kahit kami, we're missing that. But, natutuwa pa rin sila na despite the restrictions, we still managed to really organize this one pa rin. So I'm really grateful for everybody's support, and I hope that they also extend that support by please invite all of your family, your friends, share everything to them. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. We're gonna make it as fun as possible pa rin, just like the previous Veg Fest. Everything will be in our Facebook and in our socials, actually, all our social media accounts. It's all gonna be there.
Yes. If I may add, sa day ng event, I'm not sure if we mentioned the flash sales.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
Add to cart.
Yeah, because so there is a
it.
2-week period starting this Saturday, which Jack mentioned. Okay, we will have our merchants, but also in the day of the event, all throughout the day, Okay,
Mm.
there will be, the so-called flash sales, so big discounts. So they have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
So I learned so many things actually. Because when I attended the Veg Fest, I was a participant. I wasn't, and now I see I didn't know it was a volunteer work for everybody. So in behalf of everybody, in behalf of the Good Food and the Gopalakas, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Good Food and for sharing this. And we promise to be there on that day.
Yes.
We will share the information. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
doing what you do.
Salamat.
We hope to meet you personally
Yes.
next year.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank you
for
so
this.
much for
Thank you
this
so much also.
opportunity.
Thank you
Thank you
also.
so much.
Yan yung ating mga organizers ng Veg Fest Pilipinas, no? I went to a couple of their events. Solid siya, solid siya. Nakakataba ng puso seeing how so many people make it, or these good people make it accessible, make the plant-based lifestyle and a wellness lifestyle easily accessible to all the people in Metro Manila, no? Very, very central pa yung locations na pinipili nila. Talagang pinapadali nila na maging plant-based nowadays. But enough about that. I think our friends from the Living Wise segment in La Union are back online. Tech, can we get them on? Hello,
Few technical
welcome back.
glitches, but
We're back.
we're back. We're good.
Welcome back, welcome back. How are you there after the storm?
It
Did
wasn't
hit
so
you,
bad in
Tito
our part.
and
Anyway,
Tita?
Yeah, we got lucky.
we was fortunate kasi alam nyo ang La Union, there are two mountain ranges that protects the region. So you
Right.
have the Sierra Madres, then you have the Cordillera regions. So kadalasan
Right.
by the time it hits us, it's more or less na.
Kaya hangin lang yung dumaan.
Kaya may hangin lang pero sa sandali lang. But I believe the Cordillera region got pretty chewed up pretty bad too.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's good.
anyway,
That's good to know. Balance and purpose.
yeah, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, sa ating mga tagapakinig. Sorry, medyo nagkaroon kami ng technical glitches. Pero, this last 3 weeks, we have been faced with so many of our kababayans in the whole country and have been affected by a series of typhoons. Di ba? So, and just recently, a few days ago, itong huli, yung Ulysses. Now, we find, when we talk about balance, kasi una yung ating panauhin kanina, may pinag-usapan siya ng as far as finding the balance with your own self. Yung medyo yan, body, mind. This is the micro-environment that we live in. Meron din tayo ng macro. Okay? Ito yung ating kapaligiran. Not only just where we live, but the town, the country, the environment that surrounds the country, and daming factors. So these are things that can be given an emphasis. Siguro pag-uusapan din natin yan. But beforehand, I will give the floor to my better half, to speak
Tita
on.
Socorro wants to go.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just
please.
want to
Yeah.
explain yung video na una na kanina, no, tungkol sa fearlessness. Because kaugnay rin nun ang purpose in life. When you have a really noble purpose in life, and you are also, as I said in the video, na meron kang relationship and dependence on the Supreme Person, nagkakaroon ka ng courage, nagkakaroon ka ng determination, nagkakaroon ka ng lakas ng loob para harapin yung mga difficulties. And this is what makes a person sabi, no, ang galing ng taong yun, no? Ang lakas ng loob niya na surmount niya yung mga ibang problema. So really, this balance in life, this courage, this strength of character is really rooted in dependence on the Supreme Person. So yung si Srila Bhaktivinoda, he's a very wise person. Meron din siyang quotation na sinabi na, in this world, it is like we are all in the ocean. And no matter how good a swimmer you are, you will find yourself struggling in this ocean.
And it is only when you are on the shore that you will find stability. So yun po yung inano niya, how spirituality, the material life is really full of struggles. No matter if you're rich or poor, parang yung bagyo, dumaan lahat. Mahirap, mayaman, tinamaan. So basically speaking, these struggles that we go through can be overcome by actual your inner, sinabi nga kanina nung guest natin, your inward journey, your spiritual foundation, your spiritual growth and development. So yun ang ano natin na naging example. Kahit mystic yogi po, kaya nating harapin kung tayo ay merong spiritual strength. Yun lang. That's just my note
It
on
is
that.
it is actually rooted in, pag pinag-usapan natin yung resiliency ng isang tao. We are gifted, all of us, nabigyan ng ganitong uring biyaya. And then meron tayong abilidad to receive information or knowledge that will guide us throughout our life in this world. Kasi may material na kaalaman, may spiritual na kaalaman. Yung material, it will be temporary and it's not going to endure. Ngunit yung spiritual is an eternal information that it is continuous in our journey in life. Now, if we embrace such lifestyle where we see the clarity and balance, that to balance between what is our material responsibility and what is our spiritual responsibility. May ano yan yung occupational, medyo material yan, yung duties natin sa mundo. Pero
Although
necessary. Yeah.
Although you can also make it part of your spiritual offering.
There's a
di ba?
transformation
Oo.
to it. And there's the prescribed duties that we have. This encompasses what is limited to this world. And yung ano meron tayo, yung galing natin, yung occupation natin, we can transform this. It's about the consciousness of a person. It's a transformation in your life. Now, if your foundation is just rooted in something that is so temporary, things will change so suddenly. Material yun
Parang binabagyo ka lagi. Signal number 10.
Yeah. The storm of life in this world. Kasi ganun yung nature ng world na tinitira natin ngayon. It's temporary. And many things take place
And there's
without our
no
control.
rest. Yeah, there's no rest. Just like these provinces that were hit by one typhoon after the other, talagang exhausted na. No? Actually, that's the state most of us are in. We're actually exhausted in trying to do so many things. Like, take women, for example. They used to stay at home, take care of the kids, but now they have their work to earn money, and then at the same time, they try to
Balance.
manage the home. At the same time, there's always a push to get better and better. So some of them are even studying, to get more skills. Yeah. So we end up exhausted. Actually, we're all living, ano na tayo walang limits ba? We just keep doing so much. So what we're doing is we're working hard, we're playing hard. Parang we're already running on empty. So totoo lang, no? So that's why it's so important that we're now discussing having a balance. Yeah, kasi we're living in debt, we're having physical debt, we're having even our social life we're in debt. Parang may utang tayo sa lahat, kahit sa tulog, may utang tayo, no? So we need to learn how to get back on track.
Actually, yung sinasabi mong exhausted, we were just listening to some discussions on that online, and the explanation was that there was this woman who asked his son, who was a sage, to explain spiritual knowledge dahil sinabi niya na she is materially exhausted. And it was explained that it is this point when you are materially exhausted when you start to really seek answers. Kumbaga, if you're not, kung feeling mo okay ka pa, you will not seek a solution, yung spiritual solution.
So it's actually an opportunity even.
A wake-up time, hindi ba?
Marami sa atin yan. Kasi it encompasses so many facets of our existence. Sa social life natin, if we are parents or we are husband or wife, our own struggles are always there. Each individual is finding that balance. We all have to do it. And now, if you have children pa, so you have to also integrate them into that whole scene, because if you're imbalanced as a parent, the children will be, wow, how are we gonna, the struggle will be there. And then in our nation, makikita natin, the news that you hear, the Philippines is by, kumbaga, we are in that particular location that we are prone to natural disaster.
Yeah.
There's a constant reminder. But what kept many Filipinos attuned and staying glued in so many years was their spirituality.
Yes.
No matter what, mapagdasal tayo na tao. We have this nature. So we should find that balance. Kasi binibigyan naman tayo ng abilidad eh. May kakayahan tayo eh. May guidance tayo from within. May guidance tayo externally. May guidance from the mga sages, great saintly persons from above. Yeah.
Pero we should also prepare that the situation can become worse and worse.
Yes.
Di ba? Because of climate change, patindi na ng patindi yung mga bagyong dadaan.
You know,
so we have to seek rin solutions.
Yes,
to
it's
this.
not like we would just be praying. No. We seek guidance from within so that what's important, may clarity sa tayo sa pananaw at saka sa balance. Babalansehin natin yung buhay. Ano ba yung naging, magtatanong tayo ngayon, ano ba ang naging factors nito? Kasama ba ako rito? Kasi kadalasan, if our life is quite, kumbaga have no clarity in direction, we always look at somebody else is at fault eh. O may pagkukulang sa ganito, may pagkukulang sa ganyan. But we never see our own contribution to the situation that we are faced with.
Plus, we need to not just see it, but accept it and actually make the changes as necessary. For example, there are places talagang wag na kayo mag-rebuild dyan. Talaga,
Don't
you're in
keep
danger.
trying because kumbaga the model itself, and it is the duty of those who are, kumbaga sa gobyerno, those who know, to be steadfast in their position and look at other alternatives for the next 10 years. Huwag na nilang intayin, dumaan na naman yung 10 years kasi nag-ondoy tayo, nagpepeng tayo, yung mga heavy storms.
And then now, this Ulysses.
Tapos we look back to it na lang. Ang question is, mukhang hindi yata tayo natutuwa.
Yes.
Yun nga.
Hindi natin nakita yung kailangan gawin. So,
Okay, so really we need to start somewhere, yeah? And really
Pero
make
don't
the real
build your
steps.
house near the seashore at low tide.
please.
Yeah, or near the
Advice.
fissure.
or
Malawak
near the
ako.
fissure or near the rivers. Because
Malawak yung Pilipinas, ang daming lugar.
ang daming
gaganda.
lugar na
And
napakaganda.
climate change is here.
Yes,
Yeah,
reality.
it's not coming pa lang. This is
Yes.
already happening here.
If you are living in a highly urbanized location like Metro Manila,
My God, where you gonna go? Look at those.
where are your
yung baha.
options? Now, if you think, oh, I'm going to go to Batangas, I'm going to go to Quezon, I'm going to go to the province,
Oh, think again.
not think again, but actually think wisely.
Yes.
Yung ganon.
Explore.
Live wisely.
Explore.
Live wisely.
Explore your
And-
opportunities.
But there are
The options.
But there's always a way, because just as we are supplied with information, there's so much. But one thing though, it has to be an individual contribution. Earlier, the vegan group was speaking on a vegan lifestyle
Yes.
promoting. Why?
Thank you to them, huh?
It's an
Good job.
environment-friendly approach to things, because if you go to plant-based diet, you shift to it. Kaya nga lifestyle eh. Kasama na dyan yung health ng katawan mo,
Health
tsaka
of the planet.
health of the
Oo.
planet. It's holistic yung approach niyan.
Yes.
So,
Yes, we urge you to please make these positive changes for all of us, for the good of
Yes.
everyone.
and perhaps for next week's episode, we'll give a little bit more discussion on the things that we can learn, and but what we, not just what we've learned again, lessons learned after 10 years, binaha pa rin tayo, it's worse.
Oo.
But now we need to look at it forward-looking. Look, ano ang pwede natin gawin individually, collectively as a society, and that we cannot just be pointing fingers at someone else or who's at fault.
Yes.
And we need to set new priorities, important environment, people-friendly priorities because pag hindi natin binigyan ng pansin ang ating magiging mitigation or plans of action, it is next year or 2 or 3 years we're going to be faced with a worser scenario. It gets worse and it gets worse in time. The degradation is so much seen as far as environment is concerned. And this is affecting so many people's lives in our country. The economic recovery, all of these facets will be involved in these dynamics. Okay. So clear goal, simple life, but deeper meaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Then you can find the balance.
then find the balance and you can have peace. If you keep embracing what we have, looking for maybe I'll have a nicer house somewhere or I'll change this wine, this change. Those are very superficial. It has to be an internal change. Again, simple living, deeper meaning in life.
Okay,
Yes,
live
purpose.
wisely.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Sa inyo ulit, maraming salamat po sa ating mga panauhin at sa those who are supporting us. And to the host, please, okay, take it from here, Jai. Okay,
Thank you, guys.
thank you so much. Did we lose them?
Yeah.
No, they did. Oh, they're not responding, so we might as well continue. Okay, Miguel.
You always have something more to say.
Kasi bitin yung oras namin.
Bitin nga yung oras, Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, Tito Socorro, pero I'm sure, well, under wraps pa siya ngayon, pero hindi pa natin pwede i-announce. Pero we'll have more time for you in the future. Pero for that short period, thank you for sharing, the perspective of living wise, especially in terms of or in the perspective of this calamity, or in the context of this calamity. Sorry, not perspective. Thank you, Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, Tito Socorro.
Okay.
As always.
Again,
Thanks to everybody.
you take care. Stay safe.
All right. We'll play the intro for our fourth and last segment. To all of our listeners and viewers who are still here with us for almost 2 hours. J Resurrection, thank you for tuning in from Lapu-Lapu City. Deng Celeste, Mike Gopi Aboy, thank you for tuning in. And we are on the home stretch. Tech, let's roll our intro for the last segment.
Thank you very much. Hello po. Welcome to Music Meditation. My name is Manu. Sana okay lang kayo lahat. Napakalupit ng mga pangyayari this past weeks. Nakaka-stress for those friends of ours na in need and naapektuhan. We are praying for you. At sa mga kaibigan natin na nanonood, relax muna tayo. Samahan natin ang ating mga kaibigan from Sif Care for some music meditation. Let's rest our hearts and rest our minds in these healing sounds.
Haribo,
Thank you very much, everybody. Check out our social media pages for more music meditation that you can listen to anywhere and anytime. Stay safe, stay healthy. Till next time.
Thank you, Manu, and the team over at Music Meditation PH for always closing the show on a good note. Sa mga tama yung sabi ni Manu, no? Sa mga naapektuhan ng bagyo na to, you can use these obviously after you get to safety and secure yourselves and your belongings. You can escape to this and sort of relax. Use these tools that we give you on this show to help you relax and get back to that sense of balance. And sort of redirect your life towards purpose. So that's the theme of this episode. Thank you to all of our viewers and listeners who have stayed with us all the way till the end. Fortunately, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Gopalakas. Thank you. See you next week.
Kalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.
Pangkalusugan at pangkalikasan, samahan si Atty. Jai at DJ Gaur sa pagpapaunlad ng kalusugan sa katawan, isipan at espiritual. Go Palakas! Go Palakas! Pangkalusugan at pangkalikasan tuwing Sabado, 10 a.m. Philippine Time. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide. Walang kasing saya ang Paskong Pinoy. Dumaan man ang problema at pandemya, kayang-kayang lampasan. Basta't nagdadamayan at nagmamahalan.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Tuloy na tuloy pa rin ang Pasko dito sa V81 Radio Worldwide.